How y'all doing today? So, guess I'm gonna tell a little bit about my life. Uh, I'm from New Iberia, Louisiana. I started using drugs and alcohol at the age of 12. Uh, I didn't prepare nothing, man. I'm just going from the heart. It's kind of hard going after Darius, man. Darius brung that heat, and but so I'm gonna just come with my story, man. So, some things happened to me as a kid that I felt like I couldn't tell nobody. I was molested, I was abused, different things, and at about 12, I found out that I could use alcohol and drugs and put all that pain away. So I started using drugs at 12. I kept going with it, man. And by 16, I was in juvenile detention, and a couple years after that, I was in a penitentiary with grown men. I ain't gonna lie, I was scared to death, but I had to do what I had to do, man. They gave me a 3-year sentence. I did that. I came out, stayed out about 9 months. I went right back because I kept using drugs and alcohol, man. And I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about that because I'm gonna get off into where I'm at now, right? So Darius was talking about the mindset. And so what I'm learning, man, that I could create a new mindset within myself. See, nobody ever told me, man, like I could do anything I put my mind to do. My dad, he didn't have that knowledge, but he didn't have that awareness to tell me that. So, I'm not knocking him. So now, as I'm getting older, man, I'm learning that the Bible says I'm transformed by the renewing of my mind. I'm transformed by the renewing of my mind. And I used to hear preachers say that, but nobody ever told me how to do it. So I could put in new information, man, and transform my thinking. And so when you asked me, I didn't know it said empowerment speaker, so I didn't know what it was about. So I looked up empowerment, and it said the authority or power given to someone to do something. The process of becoming stronger and more confident, especially in controlling one's lives and claiming one's rights. So if I don't know what my rights are, I don't know what to claim, right? So me, I choose to lean on the word, what I call the word of God, man, and it got some things in there, man, like it says, God hasn't given me a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. It tells me I'm the head and not the tail, I'm above and not beneath. I'm the lender and not the borrower. See, if I go around saying these things, I start to believe in these things about myself. Because see, all my life, nobody ever told me these things. All I see myself was as a victim. Now, I take that pain, bro, and turn that pain into purpose, man. I give all my praise to God, because without my higher power, my God, I'm nothing. Anything that I have right now, it comes from either being desperate, like through pain, or through awareness. Because like I could hear something, somebody could speak, I could read something and gain a new awareness about a situation. I mean, and that's why I try not to give myself too much credit, man. I'm doing some studies on humility right now. Like earlier, I was thinking about the grandbaby pouring soap, all the soap out the shampoo bottle and putting water in it. And so I went to fuss at her about it and said, don't never do that again. And something told me, wait till it's time when she's about to take a shower and then tell her that don't do it. Like, in other words, that wasn't even my thought. That came from somewhere else, and I choose to believe that's my God talking to me, right? Like, because of my own self, I want to fuss. I want to fuss and say, hey, don't never do that again. And so, man, I'm just more aware now, man, of God speaking to me. I've been on drugs and alcohol in my life, so I numbed that connection between me and God. And so now I've been 22 months clean by the grace of God, and I'm starting to connect with God and hear from God, right? And I'm just saying, man, like I said, I don't know what the heck I'm gonna speak about, man. I'm just sharing my story, man. That my main thing is to tell the kids, but we got kids in here, man, that no matter what you've been through, no matter what your life circumstances are, no matter if you've been abused, anything, man, if you could do anything you put your mind to do, man, you're created for greatness. You're created on purpose and for a purpose. And I want you to believe that about yourself. I want you to get a sheet of paper and write down 10 positive things and read them every day until you internalize those things. What else? What else I can share on? Like I said, all this is new to me, man. God is just dropping so many things in my lap, man. I'm a 3-time convicted felon. I've been homeless 3 times. I've been arrested 40 times. I've been to 20 rehabs and detoxes, man. I just thought I was nothing. You know, I just thought I was that victim, that little boy. And sometimes that little boy still cries out, and I still abuse that little boy today, looking down on myself, you know, thinking that I ain't worth nothing. You know, I thank God for my wife, who been there for me for 13 years, who believed in me when nobody else would. You know, and that's, I get my strength from God and my wife. I promise you. So I'm not even going to tell y'all it's me, because for me it's not. It ain't, bro. I promise you that. My wife loved me until I learned how to love myself. She loved me, and that love transformed me into being a better person. Because if she would have gave up on me, I'd probably been back doing what I was doing. And back in the day when I was doing what I was doing, man, like I feel like I was possessed, man. Like I was robbing folks, man. I was conning folks, man. I was robbing dope dealers, man. I was putting myself in situations where I should have been dead. And then I wound up going to jail with these same dudes. And man, that's another example of God working in my life. You know what I'm saying? Being in the same cell with these dudes, man, and alive. I'm still alive. I'm not supposed to be dead a long time ago. I remember I cut my arm open, bro. I was depressed. I was crying out for help. I remember in 2005, I took 3 bottles full of pills, man, to try to commit suicide. I went in a coma for 3 days, but God said, man, I'm not done with you yet. I got a purpose, and at the time I didn't see the purpose, but over the last few months, man, I'm seeing that purpose. Amen. You know, I'm seeing the purpose, man. Organization Flick reached out to my wife and I to start a chapter. Man, look, I'm a convicted felon. I'm an ex-dope fiend. I'm ex-homeless. All this. Y'all trusting in me to start a chapter of this group. You know what I'm saying? And that's another example of God working in my life. And now my wife and I, we just started our own nonprofit, Speaking to Inspire, you know, where we want to bridge the gap between, that's my wife's idea, this part, so I ain't going to take no credit. Bridging the gap between parents and kids, bridging that communication gap. And see, God been put on my heart to speak, man. And so about 8 years now, I've been just listening to different motivational speakers, different pastors, working on reprogramming my thinking. For all these years, man, my thinking been corrupt. And so, and I didn't know that you could literally, it's scientifically proven that you could actually reprogram your subconscious thinking. And see, we're not taught that kind of stuff. You know, we taught that who you are, that's just who you are. Or that's just some here old flunky. Nah, man, you could be who you want to be. You could be whatever you want to be. Get your vision board, man. I got a vision board. My wife got a vision board. I got the call on it. I speak. I got it on my phone every day. I read it twice a day. You're going to save $1,000 a month. So far, by the grace of God, we've been doing it. Man, I ain't going to get too far into that. But I'm talking about being, we ain't going to get too far into that. I'm talking about 6 months ago from being broke. And man, I'm not bragging on God, man. I'm not bragging on me, man. I promise you that, because it's not me. Because I see God working in my life today, man. I see God speaking to me. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I lay in my bed, man, and I just get all kind of downloads from the supernatural realm. You know, all kind of answers to my problems, all kind of things I might have had a problem the day before, and I get the answer to it. Because, you know, you be so busy moving around in your everyday life, man, your brain is racing and moving, and you ain't really got time to hear. But when you first going to sleep or first waking up, your brain is in a state called theta. That's the same state that kids 7 and under are in. They're like sponges, just soaking in everything you teach them. And that's another thing I'm going to say right quick, man. It's important to watch the things we teach our kids, because they're watching us. How I talk to my wife. I'm teaching my granddaughter how to be treated. How I talk to my wife, I'm teaching my stepson how to treat his girl or his wife. You see what I'm saying? And look, I'm just learning these things. And I haven't always been the best parent. I just got into my kids, my biological kids' life like about 7 years ago. By the grace of God, it was a 10-year period. I didn't even know how to find my kids, because I had relapsed on drugs and went all the way out on drugs and went to the penitentiary. And so I didn't know how to find my kids. My wife helped me find my kids. And I have my kids in my life today. And I could work on, I can't change the past. See, this is what this is about, from boys to men. How do I transform from being that boy to a man? And it's all about my mindset, right? Because I can still have childish thoughts today at 48 years old, right? And that's where these vision boards and these affirmations come in. And that's where putting positive people in my circle comes in. So somebody can pull my coat and say, man, you know, you're slipping. You know what I'm saying? You're slipping. And I can work on being humble, because I don't have to know everything. Because my mind, my prideful mind tells me I know everything, that I don't need no help. That I can do this on my own, bro. But I can't do this on my own. I need help. And so another thing I'm doing right now, I'm listening to different teachings on humility and pride because I want to transform my mind in those areas. You know, I want to be a better person. And what I'm also learning about is I have to intentionally practice these things. Like if I want to be humble, I have to intentionally practice humility. Like if I want to be patient, I have to intentionally practice patience. You know, and so man, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna shut up, man. You know, I'm just really grateful for this opportunity, man. I'm grateful for God. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for Miss Connie for putting this on. And just believe in yourself, man, and keep pushing no matter what. And you can do anything you put your mind to if you want it bad enough. You gotta just figure out a way how to want it bad enough. Because ain't nobody gonna want it for you better than you want it for yourself. Thank y'all.